Okay, so we have a several small presentations, starting with the JAX Web Services support using EJB. So let's start with this. So as I mentioned to you before, the way that you can build your web services endpoint is using web application or EJB or standalone Java C. So we covered the other two already, and this is where you can deploy your EJB as web service endpoint. Okay, so again, you can basically have your web service. This is the stateless session bean using stateless, and all you have to do is using at web service. And this is an example where you can access web service context. Okay, because by the way, this web service context object is only usable on the container-based web service endpoint, so it cannot be used on Java SE environment, but you can use it on the EJB or web-based web services endpoint. Okay. All right. So again, as I said before, the reason you might want to deploy your web service over EJB is when you want to take advantage of EJB features such as transaction security and interceptors and things like that, especially transaction. Okay, so this is a Java EE based client. So you can actually use, again, you have seen this code, right? So you don't have to create a service object yourself. Instead, you can just use web service reference, okay? And here you can also actually inject web service context, and then you can find out, the various information about the web service context, okay? So maybe that's one exercise you guys can do when we do the hands-on lab of this, okay? So, all right, so that is the end of the presentation. So let's take a look at the lab documentation. It's a very simple exercise. So you are going to create the EJB-based the Java E application, and then you're going to just make it as a web service. Okay. So you're going to create, first of all, Java E application. So you're going to create a new project, and select Java EE and select Enterprise Application. And you're going to name it as Hello World EJB Web Service or whatever name of your choice. And select Java EE6 as Java EE version, okay, or Java EE5 or Java EE6, either one is fine, okay, and then you take all the default. As a default, it will create a EJB module and a web app module. All right, so on the EJB module, you are going to create a very simple session bean, okay, so you right click it and say new, and then you're going to select the session bean. And then you're going to name it as hello session and provide a package. So I provide very simple package name called the server, or you can use whatever package of your choice. And the session type we are going to create is a stateless bean. So select stateless. And in terms of creating interface, we are going to actually deal with the local, meaning the web application and the EJB, they are located on the same machine. So this is going to be local. And finish. And then you see NetBeans created a skeleton code of hello session with a stateless annotation to indicate that this is a stateless EJB bean. And then you're going to write code. You can write code right there, or you can just insert code. So right click this point and then select insert code. And you're going to add a business method. Okay. And name the business method as say hello. And then the return type is going to be string, okay? And then add a parameter to say hello method. So you're going to say click add, and then to change this one as name, and the type of that argument is going to be string, okay? And then the code will be generated. So what happens underneath is that it will add the say hello implementation method in this bean, and also create the hello session local.java file, which is interface. So it will add say hello method. Okay, so you can actually add this code like this manually, but make sure you actually add this code as well as you add say hello method in this hello session local Java interface code. Okay. And then you're gonna actually change this code to return hello and the name that was returned that was given from the client. Okay, it's a very simple hello world application. And then we're gonna make it as a web service endpoint. So again, all you have to do in this case is just add web service. Very simple, right? Okay. And if you actually type in, then the import is not gonna be included. If you do code completion, then it will import it as well. So in case you just type it as it is, and you don't have import statement, then you're gonna right click it and say fix import. Then you choose JWS.WebService as a class to import. So now this is imported right here. Okay, that's all you have to do. Then you can deploy. So you basically right click and then deploy. And then you can see on the services, you can see EJB web service has been deployed. Okay, and then again you can test it. So you right click it and test web service, and then it's going to be pretty much the same deal that you have seen before. Okay, and you type sanction, say hello, then it will say hello sanction. Okay, and then you can see whether you can access the WSDL document as well. So click this one, and then you are going to see WSDL document. And once you got the WSDL document deployed, you can have client to access this one, and you can write the client code. So writing this is exactly the same deal. Okay. Yeah, so here the client we are going to write is the web application. So here, because this Java EE environment, we are going to actually have a client to be written on as actually inside this the web module, web application module. So right click here and click new and web service client. Okay, so it's going to ask you the location of the WSDL document. So you provide that WSDL document that you have here. Okay, and then you provide the client package, the client generated, and click finish. Then you're gonna actually write the servlet code so that you can actually ask the browser to send something, some name. Okay, so here we are going to write the servlet. So name it as hello servlet, and client package is whatever package of your choice. And inside this servlet code that was generated, okay, you are going to again drag and drop somewhere over here, okay. The code is going to be the code that will be added is something like this, okay. So it will add this code. If it doesn't, you can just copy this code, okay. So we are going to use web service reference like this. And this service object will be injected, and then basically we are going to, so here it's going to call the so it's here say hello method. So basically we get the proxy object from the service object, and then we say hello. Okay, so this say hello is called somewhere where it is actually being called. Oh, okay, so we modify the code. Yeah, so here we are going to just call say hello. Okay, so make sure you uncomment, and basically that's a servlet. Okay, so when you run the application, it's going to it's going to actually deploy the hello world. But what you want is a /hello servlet. Okay, so in that case, the servlet will call the EJB web service, and then it will get the hello sanction and display. So this is a case that we have the web service client as a web application. Okay. So here, if you want to actually play around with the in this code, you can actually add web service context object, and you can actually find out what kind of method you can invoke. Okay, that could be your own exercise, right? So I'm gonna give you guys about maybe 12 to 15 minutes, depending on how fast you guys can finish. If you guys can finish before 12 minutes is over, then we'll move on. Otherwise, I'll give you 15 minutes. All right, so that is the very simple